What's up, everybody? James Rule XRP for another video. Yes, I missed you all yesterday, Tuesday. I was busy with family. We all were together all day, but I tell you what, I'm going to make up for it this morning. I got a lot of news to cover, a lot of partnerships, a lot of bullish news, and we're going to cover it all in one video. Man, I tell you what, I made a post yesterday talking about the things I like most about XRP Las Vegas. And the things I like most about XRP Las Vegas this year is that it was more personal and close. You know, getting to meet the community in person was more important to me than the presentations. Getting to meet families, getting to meet individuals, getting to meet couples, newlyweds, whatever, in the community that are so excited, even with the market down, is just an incredible feeling. And if you haven't attended one of these major events, I highly suggest you do one when you're able to afford one. Live, laugh, love, and hodl, and make sure to follow me on Twitter at allthemoney. Now, I always talk about iTrustCapital. iTrustCapital was the sponsor at XRP Las Vegas. And they have been incredible to me because I'm now over 59.5. I can now draw from my traditional IRA at iTrustCapital whenever I want to. They have held my digital assets for years. I have a premium custody account. I have a Roth IRA. And they are incredible. And they are introducing tokenized stocks in the very near future. So you can get it all one and done at iTrustCapital. It's free to sign up. As soon as you fund your account, you can even roll over an old 401k that's not doing anything and get a $100 funding bonus and trade 24/7, 365 in digital assets and have tax advantages. It is a win with iTrustCapital. Let's take a look at numbers. Market cap, 2.76 trillion, up 1.2%. Bitcoin is over 80,000. Ethereum, 2360. XRP is above $1.40, $1.41. Let's go ahead and take a look at the news. So Chart Nerd gets this out. The video is low volume quality, so I'm just going to read this to you because the last video I made, I talked about the DTCC getting with over 50 firms, including Ripple Prime, to get tokenization out to the masses. We're talking trillions and quadrillions. Listen to this right here, and I'm going to just read it to you. DTCC's Nadine Shakar just confirmed that the July 13, 2026 soft launch for U.S. asset tokenization, where Ripple Prime is positioned within the framework, stating the firm custodies around $115 trillion, processes $1.4 million in securities, and settles roughly $4 quadrillion annually. That's 15 zeros behind the one, or behind the four. $4 quadrillion annually. Big things are coming, people, and people out there don't even realize what's going to hit them. You and I and many of the OGs out there have been in this for years, and so many people are going to call us lucky. So many people are going to say, well, yes, you kept bothering and bugging me, and you kept telling me about XRP and other digital assets, and you just kept pushing and pushing and pushing. And now I see why you were pushing. Because it happened. That's what they're going to say. Now I have that aha moment. I could buy it at a higher price. Yay! Evernorth. This is pretty massive. Ashish Birla is the CEO at Evernorth. He was at XRP Las Vegas. Evernorth is the largest XRP treasury in the world. Yesterday, they announced 4 directors expected to join their board upon closing of their business combination with Armada Acquisition Corp. 2. They joined Evernorth CEO Ashko Blue and complete our board. This is Ashish Birla at Ashko Blue. Stu Alderati. Met him in person at Swill last year. Wonderful individual. Chief Legal Officer at Ripple. He's been the Chief Legal Officer at Ripple since 2019. He's the President of the National Cryptocurrency Association and formerly General Counsel at CIT and HSBC North America. He joins the board. Congratulations, Stu. Look at this. Robert Kaden joins the board. He is the CFO of the Open AI Foundation, people. Chief Accounting Officer of Twitter from 2015 through 2022, including its public company years, former audit partner at Deloitte. Ted Janis joins the board. Principal at J Capital since 2009, previously partner and director of research at Palo Alto Investors, CFA chart holder with over 30 years of investing. And then Dr. Darar Islam joins the board, most recently COO of Antalpha, previously COO and interim CEO of Genesis Global Trading, where he led the firm through restructuring. And 2 executive appointments alongside the board, Boris Capeller, Chief Risk Officer, and Charles Stewart, Chief Communications Officer. This is massive, people. I mean, we're talking AI. We're talking the legalities. We're talking mega billions and trillions of dollars. XRP Treasury. It's going to hit you right between the eyes, people that aren't listening to me or that haven't listened to me. Brad Garlinghouse said that AI is driving growth at Ripple, not layoffs. The opportunity is so big, we're not using AI to reduce headcount. They are using AI to drive growth at Ripple, people. Brad Garlinghouse was at Consensus Miami. And here they talk about the XRP Army, and I'm going to play this 2-minute clip for you, and you shall have a listen.
Ripple as a brand is one that, to me, defies logic only because you have such a loyal fan base. The sort of XRP Army online is so strong. Tell me about how you thought about building that and just the idea of all these people coming along this journey with you. What does that feel like?
Yeah. Well, I'll start by saying I remember the first time I went to Davos, I ran into a central banker from another country, and I'd met with him previously, and he's like, I'm surprised you're here. Here, crypto's still a bad word. Now, that was about 7 years ago, and I think we have come as an industry a very long way where, crypto's no longer a bad word. But on the topic of the XRP Army, look, one of the greatest things about crypto in general is the community behind it. The people who see the opportunity for rewiring financial infrastructure using technologies that reduce cost, improve speed. Like, these are unlocks. The XRP Army has been an unbelievable supportive group, allies. And, I have also said to that community and to the entire crypto community, tribalism is bad for our industry. I've never been an XRP maxi, and people who are out there kind of it's not going to be a one-chain world. It's going to be a multi-chain world. I want to see Bitcoin be successful. I love what's going on in the XRP ecosystem. I was in Vegas last week at XRP Las Vegas, and it was the most vibrant, the most active that community has ever been. It was really spectacular.
And it does feel like you're out there with a message, hold us accountable.
Yeah,
Make us do the work.
For sure. I mean, look, Ripple has always been the most interested advocate in the XRP ecosystem. We own a ton of XRP. That doesn't give us control of XRP. We're not proof of stake and how that architecture works. But, we have always been leaning in, and how do we do things that are good for the XRP ecosystem? All the acquisitions we made, all the building we're doing is in service of how do we accelerate the adoption, the usefulness of XRP, the liquidity of XRP, and the trust of XRP.
All right, Brad, we got to leave it there. Thanks so much for joining us at the desk, and we hope you enjoy the rest of Consensus.
Absolutely.
Thanks, Brad.
All right, that was Ripple CEO Brad Garlinghouse.
All right, Brad Garlinghouse, not an XRP maxi. I'll tell you what, he was at XRP Las Vegas. He and David Schwartz and other people that were on the panels were just amazing because they took pictures of everybody. They conversed with everybody. The XRP Army is, and I'm just proud that I'm a member of the XRP Army, as well as Top Grandpa right here. I'm a proud member of the XRP Army. Yes, he is. Let's keep going. Volvo, the car company, automobile company, is listed in Ripple Treasury as digital finance grows. It says the appearance of automotive giant Volvo on the official website of Ripple's enterprise treasury management platform, Ripple Treasury, has garnered significant attention in both financial and crypto communities. This development underscores a growing corporate shift towards adopting digital assets and rapid financial infrastructures for treasury management, payments, and liquidity operations. People, do you realize that all of these major players, the Walmarts, the Volvos, the Coca-Colas, they're all going to be using the blockchain, the underlying blockchain, to make transactions happen, to make invoices happen, to make everything happen. Everything is going to be tokenized, and we're right in the middle of it. Now, this is the big news. Bullish has entered into a definitive agreement to acquire Equiniti, a leading global transfer agent serving nearly 3,000 issuer clients, 15,000 total corporate clients, and 20 million shareholders, processing $500 billion in annual payments. And get this, Bullish acquired Equiniti from Cirrus in a $4.2 billion transaction. That is massive. I mean, Ripple has acquired for $1 billion here, $1.5 billion there, but for them to acquire this for $4.2 billion is massive. I'm going to leave a copy of this from the bullish.com webpage so you can tear it down yourself. I had AI actually break it down what this is. Bullish acquires Equiniti in a $4.2 billion deal. Equiniti is TradeFi power. Bullish is tokenization leader. All the facts and figures right here. Things are happening even when the chips are down, people. Major things are happening when the chips are down. Here's another one for you. Kraken. Our new partnership enables fast crypto to cash withdrawals across MoneyGram's global cash pickup network, supporting real-world crypto adoption worldwide. Crypto and MoneyGram partner to turn crypto into cash at global scale, people. I mean, what's coming next? Ellie Tarrant, she keeps us updated on the Clarity Act and all that. And I saw Ellie in Las Vegas, and she was wonderful. She did some panel interviews. Absolutely. She is absolutely fantastic with crypto in America. She gets this out, and she said that a divide is forming in bankland over the yield compromise. Big banks with consumer-facing arms are taking issue, while those without appear more comfortable with the final language. Some community banks are also signaling support through the ICBA, which represents them in Washington, is voicing concerns. Following her conversation with a larger bank that shares the concerns of the trades, the core issue is that the language is drafted too narrowly and still leaves room for crypto firms to work around the restriction. In their view, it's not a true compromise because it doesn't eliminate yield completely. It just changes how it's offered. The trades are planning to ramp up to outreach to Senate Banking Committee members beyond just Tom Tillis and also Brooks, ahead of the markup, I'm told. The lead negotiators appear to suggest the issue was closed in a joint statement last night. More to come tomorrow in Crypto America Newsletter. I can't wait to see it. And, some amazing things are happening. The banks are having a fit that stablecoin yield is happening on these exchanges for just having the stablecoin sitting there. And I love it because my RLUSD is making yield on Uphold, and it's sitting there and it's making money, baby. I'm glad I could update you. There's more videos coming out today. Be sure to subscribe to the James Rule Crypto Show. Yes, I'm Chatty Cathy this evening, but that's the way I am. I give it to you in my own unique kind of way. I'm a God-fearing Southeast Texan, and we'll see you on the flip side. And as I will always say at the end of every video, I told you so.